What do you think should happen to you?
Sense of balance.
Sense of balance.
Double back when you got it made. 30 racks of weed, no fat in the collard greens. Off top is me, no cap, I don't bottle things. Flash and grandmama.
You're telling me that you don't have any other minors that you're talking to online?
No, I do not.
Of course he says that. What's he gonna do, fucking admit it?
You sure about it?
Obviously, though, from the fact that he was in possession of child pornography, he wouldn't hesitate. So if he wasn't talking to another minor, that's probably just because there was no minor available, or no minor that fucking talked to him. So that doesn't really speak to altruism or to his good intent or anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You ever been in trouble before?
No.
No court appearances or anything like that?
Well, my tags on my back of my car.
She's not talking about your fucking tags, you retard.
Several years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only one I had to go for. You know what I mean?
Registration.
Yes, I can't think of the name of it.
She has very interesting nonverbals too. She just leaned back and then went from a kind of casual leaning forward to sitting upright. That was pretty interesting.
Several years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only one I had to go for.
She's totally the dominant one in the situation. I mean, obviously, he looks like he's a fucking child. He has his legs, you know, just sprawled out. He's looking at her like he's fucking 5 years old. And she's sitting upright in a confident, commanding position.
You know what I mean?
Registration.
Yes, I can't think of the name of it,
Yeah.
My light was out, and they pulled me over for that. And he said, "You got expired tag. And what's this? Your driver's license from Metropolis, Illinois." I said, "That's where I used to live. I haven't got them changed over yet."
Fuck, that's happened to me. I got pulled over for expired tags, dude. It's always important to make sure that your fucking tags are current. Especially if you're gonna roll around with fucking drugs in your car. Like, it's crazy how many people who, I guess I get it, right? It's like, you're not focusing on your fucking tags, you're just focused on getting high. Like, I've been there, I understand. But it draws so much attention to yourself. It's just not smart. It's a very small way to ensure that you're not going to get pulled over for some bullshit.
So I had to go appear for that, and the judge told me, he said that if I go get these things taken care of, they'll dismiss it, you know. Which they said that's the usual case on the first time thing, so that's what I did.
Then he got lucky.
Are you ever around any young women or young ladies?
No.
Any family members?
Well, we go to,
I don't know what that is.
like a gathering, but I mean, I'm not like constantly with them. You know, like around alone. No.
That's just horrible. It's just a disgusting situation that he even has to respond to
Good
that.
idea.
But she's justified in asking that. But, I mean, asking that is just fucking horrible.
Around alone. No.
It's disgusting.
Probably a good idea, isn't it?
He's nodding his head.
Oh, yeah.
So she has just made a bold move right there. So she's already implanted. This is the brilliance of Agent Reed. She's capable of extracting a confession without using blunt objects. She uses finesse. So she's been talking to this guy for a half hour, and now she's kind of making an accusation saying it's better that you're not around other minors, right? She's basically saying the inference there being because you're a predator. So that's not explicitly stated, but it's implied when she says that.
Well, yeah,
And he says, yeah.
Family.
And then him saying yes is him acknowledging the inference that she made, saying you're a predator, and that's why your family can't be around you.
it was never an issue with me.
Oh, you said,
You know what I mean? I don't look at family like that.
That's good.
that's good. How fucking horrible is that? Like, that's a consolation.
That's good.
I guess it is, though, right? There's fuckers like, what is it, Joseph Fritzl, the guy who got his daughter and then put her, he built like a basement dungeon and then abducted his own daughter and like raped her and fathered a bunch of kids. So that's disgusting. There are people who not only are predators, but they they prey on people who are in their family.
So, what else was going to happen tonight? Did you bring anything with you?
No.
Just bad intention.
Oh, an intercourse?
Intercourse? Yeah.
No, I didn't do it. I was the one going to do the intercourse.
Yeah, bullshit.
Okay.
That's what wasn't my intention.
Okay.
He absolutely would have tried if the opportunity would have presented itself, and he would have 100% taken advantage of it. So if he says that he's not gonna have sex, that's only because he was probably lying to the decoy. And in the chat, he just talks about having oral sex, but that doesn't mean that he didn't have intention for it. He might have thought that that would just, scare the decoy or something. So his words mean very little.
Now, when you get online and chat, how did you prefer to do it?
Naked, right?
Like how?
That's such a good question. That's such an ambiguous question. I mean, I think she might be fishing for the answer naked, because I believe he said that. He sent a picture of himself naked or something. So that's a very... And once again, it's like she doesn't use blunt objects. Agent Reed, she gets the predator to just basically incriminate themselves. She doesn't... I mean, she uses, like, Inception to, like, plant the seed. And then the seed fucking becomes a plant that gives whatever fruit she wants.
Whenever I was reading through your chat, you like to be nude, I take it.
Exactly.
Was your wife home?
Exactly. So she was like setting it up for a joke. And she does that, one, to illustrate that she has more information than he does. So she's saying, don't lie to me because I've already read the chat, basically. And then the second part is she's just like kind of trolling him too. And of course, there's plausible deniability, and she's saying it with a straight face. But I mean, that's like a fucking setup for a joke.
Be like downstairs or on her computer. We got 2 computers.
Okay. What kind of computer you have?
One I built.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
he built
that's
a PC.
cutting out a hobby of mine.
Mm-hmm.
It's just building systems.
So is he a gamer? Like, why would you build a PC unless you're like a gamer, or you do like a video bullshit? I doubt he did any video bullshit. He must have just been a gamer. I wonder what he was playing. He was probably playing like fucking StarCraft. Well, who knows? He was probably like, maybe he was into like RPGs and bullshit.
Yeah. So
I enjoy figuring them out, when you order a motherboard, learning the new stuff on them, and
Figuring out.
putting the new stuff.
Okay, so I guess just assembling the computer is all the fucking fun he needs. He doesn't even need to play games on a computer, just fucking assembling it. Why play games when you could just build computers?
what'd you build?
It's a K6200 AMD.
Mm-hmm.
That must be ancient. I have no idea what he's talking about.
K2000, that's what they call it.
Yeah.
Whether it's a processor, graphics card, or whatever.
It's like, the processor's like 2 or 3 years old now. So, I mean, it's not even listed anymore.
So, what else do you do with your computer?
Get online and look for star stuff and space stuff, UFO stuff.
Star stuff? What the fuck? Those are 3 very different things. What are you talking about?
Star stuff and space stuff, UFO stuff.
So star stuff is just like astronomy, right? And then space stuff would be like cosmology, I guess. I mean, space, you could say that space is, that there's an element of astronomy because if you're looking at it, right? But if you're just like the nature of space would be like cosmology, the origin of the universe, physics, particle physics. And then he brings up UFOs. Obviously, he wasn't doing any serious academic research. I got really into fucking space stuff. I got hard into space stuff like a few years ago. I got really into it. I read books by Lawrence Krauss, who's a cosmologist. He's also like big in the atheism thing. I just like I'm an atheist, and I was really interested in understanding the atheist argument of how there could be a universe with no God. So yeah, Lawrence Krauss wrote a book called A Universe from Nothing. So I was like, dude, this is exactly the answers I wanted. But those things are, astronomy and cosmology are serious sciences, and they're completely different than UFOs, right? I mean, regardless of what your stance is on UFOs, like, I don't think anyone would say that there's like a definitive scientific element to them. I think that's part of the beauty, right? It's like, it's a conspiracy,
Mm-hmm. Now you said
So what the fuck bullshit was he looking at?
Stuff,
if he's looking at these, I wonder what, it must just be like Star Trek or something.
Stuff.
Mm-hmm. Now, you said that you were getting child porn off the chat rooms. Can you tell me some of the people that you were getting it from?
Exactly. Good question.
I can't remember.
That's one of the best questions.
Because it's been so long.
Now, if he had a defense attorney, this is fucked up, but the defense attorney probably would have went, well, what are you willing to offer? You know, oftentimes the prosecution will make a deal. They'll just cut a deal to avoid trial. No one wants to go to trial. The odds are fucked. And it's easier to just if the suspect can offer insight, or if the suspect can be more valuable and they're a little fish, then. But I mean, she didn't offer anything, and I'm glad. So I don't think he even cooperated anyways. But it's moments like that in general when a defense attorney would be like, well, let's talk. That's one of the few times the defense attorney is like, all right, so I'm going to talk to the cops.
Some of those have been like from a year or so ago.
So you just stored them on your computer?
Yeah, just saved them when they sent them to me.
Okay. Where did you save them?
On my computer.
Yeah, but I mean, did you just keep them in an email, or did you make a special folder for them?
Oh yeah, I made my own folder for it.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
So, were you the only one with access to the computer?
Mm-hmm.
And it was upstairs?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let's hope that would be the most
password
horrible thing that you could ever discover on accident.
Protected or something? I mean
for multiple reasons.
Your wife would get on there.
Yeah, it is.
See, like that's so his wife, exactly. So I mean, this guy's that's so. I don't even understand how a person can do that. It's beyond me. I can't even wrap my head around this guy looking at child pornography, keeping it on his computer with it just is too much. How he's capable of doing that is.
I'd have a seizure if I found child pornography on my computer at home. Because I would know.
Oh, interesting too. And look at her leg, her foot is arched.
That I didn't put it there.
Yeah.
So she's kind of
she's got her
more attention, and her spine arched.
Okay, so she has no idea. Boy, I don't envy you.
I don't envy you.
Boy,
for real?
I don't envy you. Boy, I don't envy you when she gets a hold of you.
What?
I don't envy you when she gets a hold of you.
I don't envy you when she gets a hold of you. So I mean, once again, it's like an implicit. It's just an implicit seed saying like you're fucked. Your life is ruined. Like you might as well just cooperate with me because you're fucked anyways. She wants him to have no hope of winning the case. She wants him to just be in complete submission mode. To think that there's no hope that he's going to be able to escape the charges, and that there's no hope to maintain the life that he had. She wants him to know that it's over.
Yeah, don't envy me neither. Don't worry, you're not alone in that.
Don't worry, you're not alone in that. And then he takes a sip.
So, you said she's got a computer.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a digital camera?
Mm-hmm.
And webcam?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, she must have saw those horrible
any
pictures.
Child pornography webcam?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever made any child pornography yourself?
No.
Hard question, but a necessary one.
So what you've gotten sent out, received, you've gotten through chats,
Yes.
somebody else has
Yes, ma'am.
given it to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, here's the deal. I'd like to look at your computer. First of all,
excellent. So I was just talking with Timothy in the comments about this, or I think, yeah, so this is something that he said, how they say, I'd like to. This is just, once again, it's getting him to comply on a social level. It's not the state of Kentucky looking at your computer, right? It's Agent Catherine Reed. It's the proxy of your wife that you've been bullshitting with for 37 minutes.
Pornography.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, because of why you're here tonight, coming to see a 13-year-old to have sex, and you travel to do it. This is pretty serious.
Very serious.
I'm not going to kid you. You know, I don't know what the situation's going to be for you, but you'll be lodged in jail tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And for many more
And
nights.
they'll give you an opportunity to make a phone call. But I'd like to get your consent to go to your home and get your computer and any other...
Notice that her hands... So she's making a plea for information. She's asking for something. Now she's being attentive. Once again, her foot is arched. Her hands are clasped, almost like she's praying. Or she's not begging, but she's making the kind of like a pleading. It's the way that you would fold your hands, just kind of like in church as a sign of respect when you're praying or whatever. It's it must have ancient roots in like showing that you don't have a weapon in your hands or something, you know, like showing that your hands are in front of you and they're occupied. But she's doing that. It's a disarming nonverbal stance that she has. And this disarming nonverbal stance is necessary. She wants him to comply with her wishes.
Computer related equipment that you may have.
Okay.
What does that mean, computer-related equipment? That's a lot of equipment, especially if he builds things. If he agrees to that, he's an idiot. The lawyer would say, what do you mean computer-related equipment?
No. I mean, it's all on there.
Okay. So,
I mean, but...
did you have any special items where you kept pictures, like a flash drive or
No,
some other storage media, CDs, DVDs?
So that's why. So she wants to go. She wants the right to be able to search through, and that's why she's saying things that are computer related. She wants to be able to take every piece of digital technology that he has to scan it, to search.
One computer.
Okay.
Interesting. And in instances like that, then it falls on the judge, right? Or, I mean, the lawyer would draft up the warrant, but eventually it would be up to the judge to consider it. A lot of judges don't give a fuck. They'll just sign any warrant that's the way it is. Like, I've talked to lawyers who are like, yeah, I would just call up the judge, or I would just, you know, go to wherever I knew they were eating lunch, and I would just go ask them. But
another sheet out here.
Yeah, judges have to consider like what things are appropriate to be taken for the investigation and what things should remain in the suspect's possession.
Okay. The address is...
Oh, they block out the address. I'm sure that the address is fucking available online, so that seems like a pointless thing. Also, it's like, dude, the most secure buildings in like any city are going to be the police departments, right? Like, are you worried that people are going to know where the police department is? Like, no one's breaking into the police department, and if they do, they're going to have a fucking uphill battle. Who knows? I mean, police now have like fucking military technology, right? Like, they have like fucking, if you saw Straight Outta Compton, they have like a battering ram that they break through the doors with. So like cops now, yeah, they use military equipment. So good luck. He's so defeated. And rightly so. And she's really taking her time with that. She must have impeccable handwriting.
Now, is that a house? Or a duplex? Or
Duplex, yeah. It's a farm.
Duplex.
What county is that in?
That's Marshall.
Marshall.
Marshall County.
You lived there all your life, John?
Lived in Calvert City when I grew up. And moved to Metropolis for, I think it was...
Metropolis?
Then moved back. That's where I've been since.
Is that like a city in Kentucky?
Oh, wait. I met my wife and lived down in Bardwell. After
What the fuck? What are you talking about, dude?
Oh, wait. I met my wife.
He's oh, wait. She like perks up. She's like, oh shit, dude, what's going on? And it's some trivial, arbitrary detail.
And lived down.
Look at Captain Reed.
Oh, wait. I met my wife.
She stops right and
she's
she's
like,
like,
Bardwell.
Full attention. She's thinking like, oh shit, is there another confession coming?
After Calvert City.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, they must be talking about the address. They're blurring it out. He's nodding. Is this the detail? Is it the one on the right or the left? Yeah, I forgot. I don't know. I'm just a fucking idiot. I just need more Sprite. That's gotta be what it is. He's like gesturing with his hands. He's giving her directions. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. She wrote it down.
Okay. And...
he's just thinking. He's not moving much. He's been in this position for a while. This boyish position. It's not a confident position.
Do you have any special hardware or software that you use that would be out of the ordinary?
What?
No, man.
Does she mean like pirated? Or what do you mean out of the ordinary? Software? Like software that's used like illegally?
Ordinary?
Or is she talking about some of the child-related stuff?
No, man.
Okay.
What does she
Do you
mean?
operate Windows?
Yeah.
Be out of the ordinary?
No, man.
Okay.
I mean, I believe that the things that are child pornography are just going to be digital media. And they're going to be images and video, not software program. I mean, I don't know. I don't believe that software programs themselves are those kinds. Unless maybe, I don't know. But, yeah, she might be asking for that specific. She might just be asking ambiguous. She might not even know what the answer is, but she might just be fishing for answer. You know, asking ambiguous questions to let him interpret it in whatever way he wants. And hopefully that way that he interprets it fucking incriminates the shit out of him.
What do you operate? Windows?
What do you operate on?
XP.
Windows
His
XP?
fucking brain is a Windows 95. Like today, that's the current standard. This guy's running Windows 95 fucking mentally.
Now, do you have a... Well, you said you built your tower, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
So you got a personal computer.
Yeah.
Yep, a PC. I use PC, I don't use Mac. It's crazy how many students use Macs too. Like, you don't see very many MacBooks unless you're like at a fucking college. Go to any college campus and you're gonna be like swimming in a sea of MacBooks. From hella broke-ass people, too. Like, hella people who are broke as fuck who drop hella money on MacBooks. I guess if you like them, then you like them, right? But, like, for software, for gaming, obviously, but, I mean, even for, like, basic, like, computation power, like, you're going to be able to get a much better machine at a cheaper price if it's Windows. Like, significantly.
You said you had computer, webcam, digital camera. You have CDs and DVDs.
No, I have a DVD burner.
Okay, so you have DVDs or you don't?
Oh, yeah, I got DVDs, but I
Like
don't
a
have
bitch
DVDs.
slap.
Okay, so you have DVDs or you said computer, web... You said you had computer, webcam, digital camera. You have CDs and DVDs.
No, I have a DVD burner.
Okay, so you have DVDs or you don't?
Oh, yeah, I got DVDs, but I don't have...
So she's like, dude, do you have DVDs and CDs? He's like, no, I don't have DVDs. I have a DVD burner. She looks up and she's like, you fucking idiot. If you have a DVD burner, then are you making DVDs? Like, are you using that?
DVD pornography or anything like that.
No, see, and
Yeah,
she's
just got
asking
movies.
ambiguously. She
DVDs,
wants to
but-
know about every piece of media that you
I
own.
don't have DVD pornography or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I just got movies.
Every disc, every
I just got that on the computer.
hard drive, all of it.
So they're not ones that you've made
Right.
from the computer?
Exactly.
Okay. What about
Yeah.
pornography or child pornography on a disc or something?
No.
Just on the computer on the hard drive?
What about diskettes? You
No, I
use
don't
them,
use...
or-
No, I don't even have that on my computer.
So how do you store data other than the computer? Or do you...
I hope those fuckers get busted so often. I know there's like all kinds, like you can't send images without there being some kind of like trace of it. So like that's how the BTK killer was caught. He was like taunting police, and he wrote some bullshit on a floppy disk, and then he like put the floppy disk in a place where the cops would find it. And when the cops found the floppy disk, it had his message on it. But then they just took it to like an analyst, and the analyst is like, "Hey, I can find out who wrote this." And then they found out, they traced it back to his fucking church, and they arrested him. So there's probably all kinds of crazy techniques, like forensics techniques, that they can use. I'm glad. Hopefully, everyone who does this gets fucked.
On the CDR.
So you can burn CDs.
Can burn CDs. Yes.
Write that down. Can burn CDs. Right, because that could be related to some kind of like distribution. I mean, and he could be lying. So she's probably suspecting that. She's like, "You're burning this, huh? You're distributing it." So she's gonna go in there and take everything. She's gonna fucking clean him out.
I'm trying to be cooperative as best I can. Just bear with me. I'm trying to remember all this stuff.
Well, I'm listening.
Okay.
I don't think I told you that I wouldn't listen.
No, I'm just...
Very interesting that she responds in that way, too.
Remember all this stuff. I'm trying to be cooperative as best I can. Just bear with me. I'm trying to remember all this stuff.
No response. So she doesn't say, "I know you are, John." There's no confirmation. She just ignores and goes, "Well, I'm listening to you." So he's trying to show that he is capable of trying to appease her, but it's not working.
I'm listening.
Okay.
I don't think I told you that
She's not giving him the praise that he wants. She's just like, "Dude, I'm doing my job." And he's laughing.
Okay. Now here's what this one says. I hereby consent to a complete search of the premises, property, or vehicle located at...
Okay, yeah, but you have to blur it out. At 145 Metropolis Lane.
For all computer equipment, i.e. computer, webcam, digital camera, CDs, etc.
Okay, so it wasn't even a prosecutor who drafted it. Well, so she's the one who's drafting it up. That's interesting.
I grant this consent to Catherine Reed, known to me to be an agent of the Office of the Attorney General, and to such other officers deemed necessary to assist. I know that I have a right to refuse to consent.
I mean, they'll still have to have a judge approve it.
I give up that right. I know that the agent does not have a search warrant. I have not been threatened or coerced in any way, nor have I been promised any
what the fuck am I talking about? She doesn't even go to a judge. He's just giving it. She's just voluntarily taking his shit.
Favor or benefit.
If he had a fucking defense attorney who had half of a fucking brain, the defense attorney would go, "You're not taking anything," regardless of what he. I mean, it would be an uphill battle, but you know, I'm sure that the detectives would be able to get a search warrant, but I highly doubt that a defense attorney would allow the cops to take it. The defense attorney would insist on like, "No, we're gonna fight the charges at every."
I've read this consent form, where it has been read to me, and I understand it. The date's 10/21/07. The time is 2:32 a.m. And if you agree to that, you can go ahead and sign in the same place, and then print your name and your address right underneath.
Okay.
Yep, just give it away. Just kiss your rights goodbye. That's a lot of writing. He must have to sign his name multiple times.
Oh, gosh.
And she didn't even acknowledge him. He just said, "Oh gosh." She like didn't even look over or stop. She doesn't give a fuck.
Do you take any medication or anything?
Nerve pills.
What kind of nerve pills?
Effexor.
Effexor?
XR.
Effexor is venlafaxine. That's a mood stabilizer.
Yeah, okay, that's it, yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, and other vitamins, you know, like my C's and stuff like that.
But if he takes Effexor XR, then he's taking the brand name. Venlafaxine would be if it was just like a generic medication. And it's highly unlikely that the generic medication would be XR's extended release. It just, like, sometimes people have to take like one pill in the morning and one pill at night if they have normal Effexor or normal Venlafaxine. But his is the brand name, so it's like extended release. You only have to take it once, and it dissolves slower. But yeah, that's interesting. So he must have got that. He must have had pretty good insurance through his job, his fucking factory job.
Daily regimen of, you know, things I take like
multivitamins.
that. Well, it's kind of like multivitamins. Whatever she puts in the pill box.
Right. Like next thing, I don't know if whoever's like if you take prescriptions, check and see if they're brand name or generic, and if you can, like, look at the difference, and it'll fucking blow your mind. The difference in price. There's no difference in how they actually function, but there's an astounding fucking difference.
Your wife takes care of that stuff for you.
Yeah.
And then of course, so what she just said.
Your wife takes care.
Whatever she puts in the pill box.
Your wife takes care of that stuff for you.
Yeah.
So his wife is doing all his medication for him. He doesn't even fucking do his own medication. Which I guess is fine. But not for him to do it.
I'm going to go ahead and fill your citation out here. It doesn't mean that you can't keep talking, because I'm listening. Okay?
And so is the camera.
So you want to
More importantly, the camera's listening.
tell me about some of the other people you chat with?
Damn, she just bring up the
But there's
conversation.
some real winners out there.
Yeah, I know it. A lot of bots on there.
A lot of bots.
A lot of bots.
Bots, what's that?
That's,
She's all, what the fuck are you talking about, bots? She must think that a bot is like a person who's doing something, or like a troll. You know, like what kind of person is a bot? I highly doubt that she is aware of like software, like programs basically that just like spam shit and like are programmed to carry out functions. She's like, what the fuck's that? I don't think she's asking just to get information. I think she's genuinely like, what's a bot?
Huh?
A lot of bots.
Bots, what's that?
That's the
Bot.
where they throw advertisements at you.
Mm-hmm.
Porn stuff, you know, all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn, she's hitting
What
him
other
with the most fucking I don't give a shit responses possible.
That's the
Huh?
a lot of bots.
Bots, what's that?
That's
Bots.
the where they throw advertisements at you.
Mm-hmm.
Porn stuff, you know, all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really? There's no way. She wasn't listening to a word that he fucking said right there.
So what other kind of fantasies you have?
See? And she immediately just transitions out of the conversation. So she's like, this is going fucking nowhere. I don't care about bots.
Nothing wrong with fantasies. You know, people have dreams and things that they'd like to do in life.
Oh, see,
Oh,
she's not talking about it. So that's an excellent, this is why she's the shit. So she's like, tell me more about your fantasies. And then she goes, people have dreams and things they'd like to do in life. And it's like what the second thing that she said is like it's just like an aspiration. That's like the kind of fantasy where it's like, it's not like a sexual fantasy. What she meant was like, tell me about your sexual fantasies. That's what she meant when she asked him. And then she says, you know, and then she talks about like fantasies being aspirations. So she does that in order to get him to talk. So she's like saying, it's okay. Everyone has fantasies, but she phrases it saying like everyone has dreams. So she just wants to normalize she wants him to feel less ashamed of talking.
Winning money.
Winning money.
I think we all have that
Yeah.
one, don't we?
She's not talking about aspirations, dude.
I don't know what I'd do with it if I had it.
Nah, no.
Don't
Me, I
know
just
that
want to
it'd
pay my
change
bills.
anything.
Yeah, and it's crazy. People who win the lottery always like have fucked off lives like a few years after. Like oftentimes, especially if the person didn't grow up with money, it just kills them. They just develop coke habits or fucking like blow through it, and people use them. It's pretty
Got
sad.
a lot of bills.
Yeah.
Is it Wesley?
Yeah.
Spell that.
W-E. W-E-S-L-E-Y.
There's no way he has a lot of bills. He just has a normal amount of bills. He doesn't own a business or anything.
Yeah, well...
So what do you go by?
On Yahoo.
Yeah.
No,
Just did
I
like.
mean, do you go by John, or do you go by Wesley, or
Oh, John, yeah.
just John?
John? Go to the John? Oh, there's nothing wrong with the name John.
Okay, and let's see, I got your address here.
And she's just diligently writing. And now he's exchanged postures. Now he's sitting kind of like open-legged. So, I mean, it's still a boyish, immature gesture. It's certainly not one that's commanding or one that projects confidence.
Did y'all already call the house?
Pardon?
Did y'all already call the house?
Did y'all already call the house?
I mean, you don't know.
No, I'm not gonna call your house.
So why the fuck would I call your house, dude?
No reason to call your house.
Okay.
Do it?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, why would I call your house?
I mean, come on.
So instead of just saying no, she responds with the question, basically to make him feel like a dumbass. So instead of just saying no, she goes, "Why would I call your house?" So she's like making him answer, which obviously there's no reason if he understood the law in the slightest bit.
I'm gonna let you call.
And that just, once again, it reflects his limited fucking understanding, his limited capacity to deal with information,
Okay.
You're gonna explain
especially
that.
legal information.
Not me.
Okay. I wasn't being smart. Sorry.
Oh, I didn't think you were being smart. I was just letting you know, though, she's gonna be mad, and she's gonna take it out on you, not on me.
Hell yeah.
You better get yourself prepared for that.
She's like, dude, you're gonna get fucked. Your marriage is over. Which is sad for the wife, I guess.
Okay.
No, that's very sad for the wife,
Did you have a driver's
but-
license with you?
Yes.
Okay. Now, did you have a driver's license with you?
Yes, ma'am.
It's a Kentucky driver's license?
Yes, ma'am. It's in mine.
I'll get that in a minute. You want to give me your social?
So I can't get it. I'm handcuffed. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they're talking about more than just the social. I can't remember what it is exactly, ma'am. How old are you? Are you legally retarded? No, ma'am. I'm sorry. I don't know these things.
Okay. Your date of birth?
What, he can't remember?
Wait.
Or he must have already answered it.
Said pillow windows? I thought you made car parts. In your chat.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to talk about where I work. It was in the consent form when we got hired in.
Oh, okay. So what's your occupation with them?
Wow, so that's interesting. So, I mean, it must have been some kind of non-disclosure to where, upon being hired. Exactly. So that's a smart business practice, right? Because otherwise, they'd have the name of the company. I just did a Daniel Pulido analysis, and for him, he said the place where he worked at, and I think they changed their name. I read somewhere that company, they fucking changed their name because they didn't want to be associated with that guy in any way. So, I mean, it sucks for businesses when the people who work for them do shit like this because it just reflects poorly on them.
Dollar prayer. Not anymore, though. That's the reason why they don't want the name given out in case happen to somebody like this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's all for this very thing.
What city is it in?
Murray.
See, exactly, dude. You don't have to tell the cops fucking anything. He's acting like he has to. At any point, he could just not say anything, or he could just say lawyer, and then the fucking interrogation immediately ends.
You're full-time resident? Kentucky?
Yes.
You're married for now.
For now. Damn, she burns him like
Married. Kentucky.
Yes.
You're married for now.
that. Married for now. Once again, she's just planting the seed. So I mean, she's not saying. So it's through inference. She's not saying your wife is going to leave you, but she's saying like your wife is probably going to leave you. And she's saying it without really even saying, you know, like there are multiple levels to the words that she says.
What's your home number?
Yeah, can't let us know your now defunct phone number. You know, it's real hard for me to remember these things. I'm sorry. I think I might need another Sprite. Or a Mr. Pibb. Or whatever fucking bullshit this fat motherfucker
An
break.
emergency phone?
I can't remember offhand. It was my mom and dad.
Yeah.
I can't remember offhand right now. It's on my phone in there.
Yeah.
So even the bit that we do have, like, he can't remember anything.
Well, the emergency phones for the jail, if something, they need to call somebody or something, they'd have that number. But, I mean, you don't have to put one on there if you don't want to. What's your height?
5'8".
5'8".
Weight?
I'm guessing. If it's 195.
195. He's pretty big. 5'8's on the shorter side. I think the national average is 5'10". I'm 5'8". So I'm on the shorter side as well. I don't weigh that much though. So I know what a body type looks like, especially one that's 5'8". He's fat as shit.
Hair color?
He's very out of shape.
Blonde, whatever.
Brown?
I guess. Used to be blonde, but I guess it's brown.
Well, what do you want me to put on?
Okay, brown. Sorry. Sorry. I'm trying. Okay, brown. Sorry.
Brown?
I guess. Used to be blonde, but I guess it's brown.
Well, what do you want me to put on?
Okay,
Dude, what am I gonna write?
Sorry. I'm trying not to be difficult. Really, I'm not. But
Eye color blue?
green.
Green.
That's funny. She's been staring at him like very closely for fucking almost an hour just to ask.
I'm really trying not to be difficult.
And start crying. So interesting. He goes from like the lighthearted laughing to crying. Maybe in a state of like laughter, your emotions are heightened, so it's easy to just immediately transition into crying, just because you're in like an excited emotional state.
Buddy, you'll be alright.
I'm trying to be cooperative and everything.
I know you are. I think you've done real well.
Oh wow! So she finally gave him a little bit of praise. I know you are. You're doing exactly what I want you to.
I know everybody wants to go home, go to bed.
Well, you know, sometimes you got a job to do and you just gotta do it.
Exactly. She's 100% right.
I miss my brother.
What is he just mumbling?
You weren't talking to me, I take it.
I miss my brother.
I'm whispering. What the fuck? Who else
You weren't
is there?
talking to me, I take it.
I miss my brother.
You miss your brother. Does he help you a lot?
Very interesting. Wow, that's a... I can't even imagine what it'd be like. I have brothers. I can't imagine what it'd be like to lose one. So that's a... It's not fucked up. I mean, I guess I understand why she's doing it to once again increase his excited emotional state to where he's less likely to think rationally for a defense. So she, she's bringing up something that probably really is hard for him to deal with, the loss of his brother. But even though she's using it to extract information, it's something that would be difficult for him to talk about, and it's something that probably would trouble him. And then she asked if his brother helps him. So of course she means in the present tense, like, does thinking about the memories of your brother assist you? And then she went, like she wants him to answer. She might be trying to set this up for like a what would your brother think? And that would be very effective. That's what I would do if I was a cop. I wouldn't go about it like directly, obviously, but I think I would try and use that angle. Like, well, what do you think? Like, what kind of person was your brother? And then I would want them to basically discover it themselves. Like, what would they think about this right now?
He died.
Cancer.
Oh, that's horrible.
Can I tell you something?
This is
Sure,
exactly what she wants. So it doesn't matter what it is. It's just him. It's him opening up. It's him explicitly saying, I'm trusting you. I'm about to self-disclose something that's probably emotional. So it's him saying, I'm about to open up to you.
I'm always listening. I'm
Yep.
all ears.
It should be me 6 feet under, not him. I mean that.
Yeah, it should.
Buddy, you be alright.
She doesn't even deny it. She's not like, no, it's not. She's all, dude, you'll be fine. Like she's like, yeah, I acknowledge that on the cosmic scales of justice, like your brother was probably just a good guy who just unfortunately got cancer, and you're a piece of shit, and you have lived. So I think that she even acknowledges that according to any semblance of justice, that it should be him who is dead, and then the brother. But that's just funny.
He was so much of a better person.
That's horrible.
You know what?
I mean, it's horrible that this is the way the world is, that good things happen to bad people. It's cliche, but it just fucking sucks.
No, I'm not.
Why not?
I just...
What's eating you up?
Exactly. What's eating you up? So this is what she wanted. So what's eating you up? So she's saying, you feel bad, right? Just confess. She's saying, what's eating you up? Confess to me, John. Confess.
Something just really got you.
She wants to see if there's anything else. Well, I did it another time, or well, I know this group of people. She wants anything that he's going to be able to give that can assist in the prosecution of him.
Just wish I had a great place. I know you're not a counselor, but that's what I want to say, you know?
Well, you know, sometimes you gotta say it out loud.
She didn't argue with him at all.
I just hate my life. I really do.
Yeah, that sucks,
You
dude.
go to a counselor?
No.
You gonna start?
You are legally, I believe you're going to be mandated by the law to start going to counseling. You fucking idiot.
Oh, yeah.
Hunting season's closed for your ass.
Because I need help.
That'd be a good place for you to start, I think. You feel better? You talk to me? You feel better that you talk to me?
I'm glad it's you in here.
Why?
You just seem to have a way of talking.
Well, you know, some of
What?
them back at the office tell me I don't know how to shut up.
So now he's just saying, like, I'm glad it's you. So this is that's exactly what there's someone behind the scenes in the Kentucky Bureau of Investigation who was like, Agent Reed, like, we want you to talk to her. We want you to talk to this guy. Or maybe she herself, like volunteered for it. But it was a calculated decision. Regardless of who made the decision was made with this very fucking sentiment in mind.
You get sick of me, so I appreciate you appreciating me.
Yeah, she's loquacious. She's talkative.
You know what you make me think of? That actress, I think her name. Just the way you talk made me think of her.
Ain't Loretta Lynn, is it?
No, on that flight, not flight 93, with that missing child on that plane, and they kept telling it,
What?
you didn't come on board with a girl. I mean, she knew she did.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember her name.
What's the movie called?
Flight, not flight 93, I can't remember.
Must be some 2000s movie, 90s movie.
Also in that movie, Hannibal Lecter.
Oh,
You know-
was Jodie Foster?
Jodie, that's who
You should have started with that. No one knows what fucking movie you're talking about with that airplane and a kid. Everyone knows Silence of the Lambs, or at least hella people know Silence of the Lambs. His character, Hannibal Lecter, was like, he was a horrifying villain. He's considered by many to be like one of the more well-designed villains in a book, or I think it's a book, but especially in the portrayal by Anthony Hopkins, which is epic. And that dude, it's like he played that role so well. It must have been almost hard for him to have people cast him in other things. It's like once you're Hannibal Lecter and you scare the shit out of America, it's hard to be like a friendly fucking Santa Claus figure.
I like her.
I do too. She's one of my favorite actors.
Jodie Foster. She doesn't really sound... Agent Reed doesn't sound like Jodie Foster. I mean, she has a similar, like, southern drawl. That's about it. But there's probably a lot of people in Kentucky who sound exactly like them. And I guess when she sounds like Jodie Foster in the movie in the movie Silence of the Lambs. I think the character Clarice Starling in Silence of the Lambs is, like, from the South. So that's probably why he's saying that. Because she put on the southern accent for that role.
Well, I tell you what, this is the worst part of this job, filling out all this paperwork.
I wonder if, I bet you she fucking means that too. It's like people want to be cops because they want to go out and like make the world a better place. I guess, right? For different reasons. But one of the reasons is they probably feel like some sense of like justice or like a duty. And you don't think about paperwork. Like you don't become a cop or like you don't take a FBI job to like fill out fucking paperwork, or at least most people don't. So that sucks, but that's what's required, unfortunately. At least it's required in the current system. Although now that shit's digital, they just type it on a computer. Just sniffle away. She's got pretty much everything she needs from him. It's difficult for him to deal with the silence. He just grunted like, what the fuck? I wonder what that was. So we'll never know what the that he just did was, but it was probably one of deep self-reflection.
Okay, I gotta go find your license and get some information from your car.
Okay.
And I'll be right back. You hungry?
No,
There's some
ma'am.
chips there and a candy bar.
I thank you, but you can understand why I'm not.
Well,
I mean,
you know, some
you know how it
people-
is.
Some people handle stress differently.
Yeah, I'm one of those that don't handle it.
No? Let's see. We'll get you squared away here in a few minutes. And get
Not only that, it's like, I mean, aside from how you handle stress, like, eventually you're gonna calm down from your agitated state, no matter what happened. Like, a person, like, something, you'll chill, and then eventually you'll require the sustenance, like, unless you're just gonna die. Like, eventually you have to eat no matter what. So, for him to turn down the food, like, just keep it, dude. She's giving it to you.
transported over to the jail.
Or better, you might as well eat it fucking now, bro. You're in jail. You need to fucking wolf down everything
Still
you
got
can,
plenty
you
of drink
fucking
there?
idiot.
Or you want me to round you up some water?
You ain't in no
If
position
you
to turn
can,
down
I mean, I don't
food.
want to get too much of a bother.
Well, I'd say I could do that for
Thank you.
you. You need Kleenex?
Okay.
Okay.
But thanks anyway.
You alright?
You alright?
Alright. We'll be back with you in a few minutes.
Is that alright? Oh, So now we're probably going to have a few moments of the camera just focusing on John Elliot.
Locked one inside.
What did he say?
Locked one inside.
Locked inside? And now he's just taking a big old fucking gulp of the drink. And he's going to put on his glasses for no reason. You know, it's pretty absurd, too, that one of the things in his chat log that John Wesley Elliot specifically said was, and Chris Hansen reads this back to him during the interview with them, John Wesley Elliot goes, "Man, I would give anything I could to have one night with her." And it's kind of absurd. One, obviously, because he's talking to a decoy, but two, it's like, why? You would trade everything in your life in order to have sex with this girl? I mean, even if you remove the fact that it's like a girl and just like insert like a grown person, it's like, for anyone to say that they would give anything to have sex with someone is so fucking stupid. It's so dumb. Like, you're foregoing your life. I mean, if we were to take him at his word, this was worth it, because he said, I would give anything I could to have one night. So it's like he acknowledged that there was a risk and that the risk was worth it. The fact that he was already talking about how shitty his life was before he even got caught. So exactly, like when Agent Reed said, it sounds like your life wasn't that great to begin with, when he was crying about how he's going to lose everything, that nothing in his life is ever going to be the same. She's 100% right. So maybe it makes me, I mean, it doesn't make sense, but at least it's a little more understandable to have a guy with a shit life with nothing to look forward to, for them to say they'd give anything. Because their life, like, what is he doesn't even care about his own life, obviously. And that sucks, dude. You have to fucking care about yourself. You really have to take care of yourself. I was reading Jordan Peterson's book, and one of the chapters, it's a really good book. One of the chapters was, I forget what it was. There's an anecdote, though, to where a fact was given. So a person is more likely to fill a prescription for their dog than they are for themselves. So it's crazy that people tend to, I mean, he uses this to say, like, take care of yourself. It's treat yourself like you're worth helping or something. I think that's what the chapter is called. But since, I mean, we care about other people, I mean, especially our dogs, and he uses that to be like, okay, dude, if you're treating other people a certain way, like, it's okay to treat yourself with the same amount of care. So it's like, take care of yourself. Don't just resign to your life being shitty and bad. Like, try and do something about it. You might as fucking well. You might as well. Like, why live life and have it be shitty? I mean, there will be some aspects of life that are just inevitable that deal with human suffering. But there's absolutely no reason for a person to have the kind of life that John Wesley Elliot had. Even before this. Unless that's what they want. If you want something that's like low-key and chill, that's awesome. But if you're going to complain about it like he does, if you're going to have that life and then you're going to bitch about it, like, well, do something about it. You got to do something. No one else is going to fucking do anything about it for you. I fucked off a lot in my early 20s. I didn't give a shit about anything. I was very immature and irresponsible. But eventually I got it together. So exactly, it's like, don't complain about your life being shitty, like, get it together. And obviously there's no way for him to fucking get it together now. His life is fucked. And that's a good thing. This has been an excellent example of how Agent Reed is able to mindfuck John Wesley Elliot in ways that he's not even aware of. She was able to lead him to different avenues, all avenues that she wanted to get to. And she was able to approach subjects like with the appearance of fluidity, just like it's a natural conversation, but it wasn't a natural conversation. Oftentimes, she would ask a question intending to go to a specific destination. So like when she brought up the fantasy bit, she's talking about fantasies, and she asks, do you have fantasies? And then she goes on to give like a normal definition of fantasies. She wanted him to talk about his fantasies. That was the goal the entire time. Oh, someone's back.
Yeah. He's going out here with me.
That's Zadinsky. He's another badass.
Come this way right around.
Oh, they're leading him out. Dudinsky's great. He's another detective. That is the detective who does the Dustin McFetridge interrogation. And that's a good one. I think I'm gonna do. I have a few videos that I have to do. I have to do what's that some people have requested that I want to do. But after that, I think eventually my next the next big project that I do is probably going to be the Dustin McFetridge. Eventually, I'll get around to it. But I have a few ones that I'm going to do before that. So what is this? They've all just left. But he didn't take the Sprite. He really fucked up by not just immediately consuming all of the calories that he could have.
You don't need citation. Oh, I'll get it for you. That's what I'm doing.
Oh, I can hear him in the... So, Dudinsky's talking about the citation to Baldbeaverhunter. It's barely audible. Yeah, though, he should have immediately consumed all of the calories that he could have. Oh my god, what is this? I had no idea that this was coming. This is fucking awesome.
Yeah, hello?
Hello.
Hey.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Alrighty. Good.
Where are you?
And you can so this was for the interrogation with Hanson. I mean, this dude is fucking absurd. He's such a fucking dweeb. He has this dweeby, 8-year-old haircut, from the 1950s. He just looks like the kind of kid who, whose mom picked out all his shit for him. His entire life. He looks like, and then once he moved out, his wife does his medicine for him, right? His wife probably took over the duties.
Someplace called Dawson Springs.
Dawson Spring.
Where?
Yeah.
Where are you?
Someplace called Dawson Springs.
Dawson Springs?
Yeah. That sure was a long fee.
Huh?
I said, that sure was a long fee.
I'm sorry. I was getting comfy, but then I was like, oh no, I have to get water, and then I wanted to make some Kool-Aid.
Wow, that decoy is very convincing. No joke. That's very. You could tell the decoy was smiling when she said that. So I mean, obviously she doesn't mean it, but she's a great actress.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But yeah.
This fucking idiot said this.
Go ahead.
Dawson? Do you mean Dawson Spring?
Okay, yeah.
He just can't read.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, cool. Alright, well, yay! How far does that make you, do you know?
No, I really don't know yet.
Okay, I'm so excited. I can't believe you're coming.
No.
I know.
I got to tell you, I am nervous. I'm just nervous as heck.
I'm nervous as heck? What are you talking about, dude?
I am nervous. I'm just nervous as heck.
I'm just nervous as heck. That's so fucking PG Kentucky.
Oh, why are you nervous?
I don't know, I just am.
Because what you're doing is criminal? Well, he's probably nervous for 2 reasons. 1, because he's meeting... 3 reasons. 1, because he's meeting a minor. 2, because he's cheating on his wife. And 3, because what he's doing is illegal. It could be Dateline. Aside from being, illegal, I think he's aware that it could be fucking, TCAP.
Damn. I've never done anything like this. I've never done anything like this.
Oh, you're so sweet, though.
Yeah, I stand by that okay, 1, I think he's lying. And then 2, if he hasn't done this before, it's just because he hasn't had the opportunity.
I'm just really excited that you're coming.
I have never done anything like this. I keep thinking to myself, this is crazy, this is crazy.
This is crazy.
Oh, you're so cute, though.
She's really giggling, too. I think she must be looking at this like, you fucking idiot. What was that? Now, why is he making those noises?
Oh, you're so cute, though. Anyway.
Like, is it a buffet?
Well, are you still excited?
Yes, I'm excited.
See, so once again, she's leading the conversation. It's always the decoy. Zoe Mavis made videos like how you know when you're talking to a decoy, and it's like when they when they're like the one dominant, like when they're the one leading the conversation, I think that's one of the biggest indicators to where you'd know that it's a sting.
I'm scared, nervous at the same time.
Why? I'm a little scared too, because I don't know.
Right? It's like, so you're the 40-whatever-year-old fat fucking guy, and you're scared, and you're talking to someone who's purporting to be a 12-year-old, and they're the one calming you down. Like, it's absurd.
You like me or not?
I know. That's what I'm afraid of. I think that's why I'm scared.
Because you're a fat
What?
loser.
Did everyone like you?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you know.
No, that's not true. I'm afraid you don't like me.
I've never been popular with the girls.
That's really sad. So, I mean, I know a lot of people who have never been popular with women, and oftentimes it's like, I don't know, it's probably just a combination of like not having the opportunity and or not having the confidence or whatever. I mean, it's a complex social issue. But I have no pity for this guy, and it makes perfect sense as to why this fucker has never been popular with the women. I think that's fucking evident. Not only because of the way he looks, but just because of what he is. He's a fucking predator. He's a piece of shit. As we've seen from this interview, he has, like, no fucking spine. He is self-loathing. It's just horrible.
Why?
That's the reason.
But you're so... Huh?
I don't understand why. That's the reason I can't understand why you like me.
Yeah, it's a mystery.
Flabbergasted.
Flabbergasted. That's a good word. That's one of the few fucking things I agree with it with. Yeah, I'm flabbergasted that would happen too.
Like, you're good with girls. Like, you're so sweet.
I don't know. Well, they never got to know me or anything, so.
Even if they would have.
No, that's their fault.
Dead air. See, there's nothing to talk about.
But yeah, I am excited. I am excited.
Oh. What if you don't like me?
Oh, I'm sure I'm gonna like it, girl. My goodness. I think.
But how do you know?
Because.
You never know.
Put it this way. Let's say you were 280 pounds.
That's
but
hella
you still
big.
have you still talk like you do, and have the personality that you do. I'd still like you.
So for him to say you still talk like you do and have the personality that you do, they have barely spoke on the phone. She's just like, there's nothing about the way she's talking that is exceptional. She's just laughing and like, there's nothing about that stands out that couldn't be mimicked by any other person, particularly any other woman, right? Any other woman could giggle and talk like that and sound enticing on the phone, and it's ridiculous.
You're so cute. That's nice. Well, I'm excited that you're coming. I really am. And I don't know why you don't think I like you or anything, because I wouldn't, if I wasn't comfortable, I wouldn't have, wanted you to come.
Right. I'm just surprised that you want me to even do this.
Yeah, it was too good to be true, and he knew it was too good to be true. He knew that things like this don't happen to guys like this, but he went anyways.
Oh, I'm glad you came, are coming. I'm really glad.
Right.
I wonder if she's saying that on purpose, like the coming and the came and all that. I wonder if she's trying to plant the seed. It's like, and that's another seed that's, ironically, right, when you're talking about covet, you say seed, but, I mean, she says that to not, like, she's not bringing it up, but it's like, of course, the word, like, it could be, when you say, like, oh, come here, it means, like, approach, but also it's like, come is jizz, so it's a way, there's plausible deniability behind it, too.
I need to get away anyway.
Oh, you're going to be put away.
Out.
You're going away.
Anyway, I just work and that's it.
Don't worry, you're going away.
Oh.
This is nice
You
to be able
are.
to just take a road trip.
Oh fuck, this guy right here too. He looks hilarious. He's a epic fucking figure in this realm. This guy's like a bum. I've seen this sentencing video before, and in the TCAP community, this guy is like, he looks crazy. I think that we need to explore this guy's story. He's just like a bum who makes a hilarious face, and he's like bald as fuck, and he looks like a fucking like clown out of a cartoon.
Oh, that's great. Well, this sounds fun, huh? Sometimes I like long car rides and stuff.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, this
nice.
is definitely a long car ride.
Once again, it's like, is she saying that she likes long car rides? Like, is she saying that she likes being in a vehicle for an extended period? Or is she just saying, like, long to be, like, penis? And that could be the connotation, like, long as in... I'm surprised. So, because that's what she's trying to get as many charges. She wants as many confirmations of crimes as she can get. So she's going to lay all these traps out and see which ones he fucking falls into.
Yeah. Are you listening to music? What are you doing?
I'm just sitting here thinking.
You're not listening to music or
No.
listening to a podcast or anything, dude? You're just sitting there thinking on your Windows 95 fucking retarded brain? What are you thinking
I'll
about,
listen
dude?
to some music or something.
I just don't have anything going. I was just waiting for your call. I was like, gosh, it's going to take a long time for your call.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was hoping you were listening to
Whatever,
music
maybe
or
like
something.
the
I was like,
silence.
man, he's gonna, like, wonder where I am. Oh, hold on one second.
Okay.
Hold on.
Hold on, I have to talk to the cops. I have to talk to the detective standing next to me. That's literally what she's doing. Oh, this is it. So, exactly, that was the interrogation of John Wesley Elliot in its entirety. This guy's a fucking piece of shit. I'm glad that he was busted, and I hope all the worst things in life happen to him. Until next time.